inside the Breslin Center as the Maryland Terrapins prepare to take on the number 15 ranked Michigan State Spartans. It's Big Ten Gymnastics on Big Ten Plus. Hello and welcome in here, everyone. That's Abby Larson. I'm Reagan Holgate. We'll have Mara McKenzie on the floor all night for us tonight. But Abby, let's start with these two teams. They're coming in both looking for that conference win. And for the Maryland Terrapins, we've seen a lot of inconsistencies already this season, but someone they're going to be looking at to put up those big numbers tonight is senior Audrey Barber.
Yeah, Audrey, she is a fifth-year senior coming into the event tonight. She is a returning all-around competitor, but she has a gorgeous bar routine. She holds the all-time scoring record on bars for the Terrapins with a 9.95, so she will be really fun to watch tonight.
And on to Michigan State, obviously coming off of a hard loss to the Wolverines in Ann Arbor, but there are good things to take away from that performance, and one of them is sophomore Bailey Garcia.
Yeah, Bailey, she has definitely earned her spot as the anchor on the balance beam. She is ranked 11th in the nation on this event, which is a huge accomplishment. She has scored a 9.9 or better at every single meet for the Spartans this year. Her career high is a 9.925, so she will be looking to match that or make it even better tonight.
We are moments away here from the first rotation, but first let's send it down to the third member of our team, Mara McKenzie.
Thanks, Reagan. And this week marks a special National Women and Girls in Sports Day. This is actually the 36th annual, and both teams have met tonight hoping to celebrate that fact. This National Women and Girls in Sports Day feels even more special as this coincides with the 50th anniversary of the passing of Title IX, the law that allowed women and girls to participate in sports in the first place. With these in mind, let's go ahead to the meet. Back to you in the booth, Reagan and Abby.
Thank you so much, Mara. Abby, great to be here alongside of you, and especially to have Michigan State celebrating National Women and Girls in Sports Day. Here we'll take a look at head coach for the Terrapins, Brett Nelligan. It's his 13th season as the Maryland head coach. Got here in 2009 following the retirement of his father. So gymnastics really runs big in that family.
Next up, we have Coach Mike Rowe with the Michigan State Spartans. It is his 5th season as head coach, and he just has the full package. He is excited for this meet, and he has so much confidence in this team. He just has so much fun when he's coaching every single meet.
And you talked to him earlier this week. What did he have to say about, you know, the outlook for this meet? Obviously they're coming off of Michigan, and that was a tough loss, but what do they need to do here tonight?
They just need to keep up their confidence and take it one routine, one weekend, one event at a time, and that is what Coach Rowe has been talking about all week. Here is Lauren Shue up first on vault for the Spartans. Beautiful Yurchenko full. Couple of hops on that landing. The judges will take a couple of tenths for that. But she had a lot of height and a lot of distance, which is what the judges won't take off for. Coach Rowe actually told me that Lauren has competed a 1.5 Yurchenko. She only did a full right there. So they will be working on that, maybe bring that out towards the end of the season.
Looking at the Maryland rotation here on bars, we'll start with Sierra Kondo, then go to Athlon Drage, Elizabeth DeBarbery, Emma Silberman, Aleka Chiknius, and Audrey Barber, our key gymnast, will anchor every event tonight here for the Terrapins.
She's definitely got a veteran mentality, so anchoring on every event is what Maryland needs to keep their consistency up.
And here's Sierra Kondo starting us off on the uneven bars.
Last time out, she had a 9.775 on this event. Beautiful straddle Jaeger right into a shoot over down to the low bar. Back up to the high bow for her dismount. Double layout dismount. A great stick, a great start to Maryland's bar rotation.
You just love to see the excitement when you get those stuck landings. And I actually talked to Brett, before this meet, and it's really still new for his team, and they're still trying to figure things out. But that was a great start, and definitely what he was looking for.
Definitely. The details, focusing on those sick landings, definitely come toward the end of the season. You just want your gymnasts to get up there, get their nerves out at every single meet, and having a couple meets canceled by COVID definitely does not help. So they're definitely working on and focusing on those details coming into this meet versus the Spartans.
And next up, we'll move over to the freshman Skyla Schulte on vault.
Skyla's got a beautiful Yurchenko full here. She's just so consistent with that. I'd love to see the 6 soon, but just a small hop on that landing. Perfect form in the air.
And we'll just look here at the competition order. Maryland will start on bars, then go to vault, and then onto floor, and then beam, and Michigan State on vault, and then to the bars, beam, and then they'll finish off with their strongest by far on the floor. And when I was talking to Coach Nelligan earlier, just look at this stick again. Look at the excitement from that team. You just love to see the team atmosphere. And obviously it's still so new. And Skyla again.
She's got so much hype. Mike Grove also told me that she is also training a 1.5 in practice. They are focusing on safety. They don't want to throw anything that they know they're not capable of yet. But many of his gymnasts on his vault lineup have the capability to start at a 10-0 start value. So hopefully we'll be seeing some of those upgrades to come in the near future.
And we've talked too a lot about the versatility in this Spartan team and just how important it is to be able to have so many people you can put into these different rotations and, maybe help your all-arounders out and give them much needed time off sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. Even if you are a consistent all-around lineup girl, gymnastics is a very tough sport on your body, and back-to-back meets, 2 meets in 1 weekend, or even just meets back-to-back weekends, it's very tough on your body. So you want to save your body till the postseason, and you want to be healthy then. So giving some of those all-arounders a break every once in a while, if it's good for the team, is definitely beneficial for their bodies.
You can see Athlon Drage here taking some deep breaths with Coach, just walking through a few things before she gets started.
It's always a tough spot waiting for these scores to come through when you're ready. And you have to wait for the judges. It's a hard mentality to fight through. But here she gets ready for on the bars. Starts off with a blind full. Into her release, back down to below bar, shoot over handstand. The judges are looking for that handstand position as well as all of the pass handstands. She gears up for her dismount. Double layout, a little bit piked down on the landing. The judges want to see a full straight body position the entire time through those 2 flips. She piked it down a little bit, but might have had to make that landing around and take that 1 step.
Sierra here we have a replay. There we go. Just a little hop. There we go. Nia Smith just finishing up on the vault. Lauren Shu received a 9.700 for her vault routine, and Skyla with a 9.825. Here's that vault again.
As you can see, very, very good position in the air. Again, a little bit of a pike down on the landing, but overall a really good Yurchenko full.
How hard is it to come down with a stick on a landing off of the vault?
vault is definitely the hardest landing stick. You have so much momentum going towards the back of the vault, so you really have to get the perfect amount of air awareness to really see that landing, or else you have to take that step. Especially twisting through the air, like a Yurchenko full or any of the most common vaults that we see in NCAA, twisting is really difficult to stick.
Here is Elizabeth DeBarbery for the Terrapins, getting ready for her bar routine.
She had a 9.775 last time out. Huge right. Ooh, barely caught that on her fingertips, right down into her shoot over. A little bit short on that handstand. A blind full. Double layout dismount. Stuck. Wow, that was a great routine. A lot of difficulty. Her team loved it.
Here's sophomore Bailey Garcia on vault.
She's got another one of those Yurchenko fulls. Still that slight hop on the landing. I know Mike Rowe is looking for those stuck landings, especially on vault. That will give them a couple tenths higher on their vault rotation. They all have very, very solid vaults, very clean, and they have great air awareness, so I'm sure they've been working on those sticks in practice. Here's a look at this beautiful double layout stuck once again.
These Terrapins seem like they have some glue on their feet right now.
Definitely. That slight hop.
Sierra Kondo for the Terrapins received a 9.850 for her bar routine, and then Athlon Drage with a 9.775. Obviously still early here in the first rotation, but what are you seeing so far?
Maryland definitely looks like they are fighting through these nerves. They look confident. They're going for their handstands, going for their sticks, and I know that that is what all of their coaches are looking for, to get rid of those nerves, even though it's one of their first meets of the season.
Here's Emma Silberman for the Terrapins.
Emma has a huge ginger. A pirouette into a ginger. That is her major release, a requirement to have a 10-0 start value. She hits that shoot over to handstand. Just her double layout dismount to finish. Really showing off that handstand to the judges. Wow. She fights for that stick.
I don't think you could ask for a better start from Maryland. My goodness.
Definitely, they look great.
Now for the Spartans back on vault, senior Ashley Hoflick.
There's that stick they've been looking for. That was gorgeous. Once they get a couple of those sticks throughout their lineup, their vault overall score will go up by a couple of tenths. Another double layout stick. You can see her just spot that landing. She knows exactly where she is in the air to allow her to not move even a pinky toe on that landing.
Never a question. Aleka Chiknius next up for Maryland on bars. Elizabeth DeBarbery checks in at a 9.825 for her bar routine. So overall, pretty solid start for the Terrapins.
Ashley Hoflick ended up with a 9.925 for her stuck Yurchenko full on vault. As you can see, once you get more of those stuck landings, you gear towards the 9.9 area rather than the 9.7 and 9.8 area.
And Coach Rowe has talked a lot about how he wants to hit that 197 mark, and to get there, those stuck landings on vault are really going to help him. Aleka all set to go.
She had a 9.825 at the meet against Rutgers last time she competed. Straddle Jaeger a little bit close to the bar, so she had to bend those arms to re-grasp it, but that shoot over to handstand was perfect. Just her dismount left, a little bit short on that handstand. Double layout. She really fought for that landing. I don't know if the judges will give her the stick on that one, but it looked pretty darn good.
Over to freshman Gabrielle Steven on the vault.
Yurchenko full, a little bit of a hop back. Coach Rowe actually told me that she is training a double full. I asked him if she was going to upgrade to a 1.5, and he said no, she's not stopping there. She is going to be training a double full. Don't know if we will see that this season, but once she gets some reps on hard landings, you might see that in her Spartan career. Looks quite easy for her, so hopefully we get that double full eventually.
She's been so great for the Spartans so far this season.
Her and all of the other freshmen have just so much energy.
And here is senior Audrey Barber on the bars.
She is gorgeous on the cement. Huge ray. Wow. Straight into a shoot over that just looked so controlled. Just her dismount left, a double layout. Just one step on that landing. Overall, a gorgeous routine from the all-time high bar scorer in Maryland gymnastics history.
And now we have Delaney Harkness on vault.
Coach Rowe told me that they are going to do a routine analysis to see some of the deductions that she was getting from the judges. She does a very unique vault. She does a full onto the table rather than a full off the table, and they want to see why it wasn't scoring as high as the other Yurchenko fulls that they have in the lineup. Lots of double layouts from the Terrapins, and they're all gorgeous.
Definitely seems to be working for them right now. Sierra Kondo still leads the bar routine for the Terrapins with that 9.85. And here is Delaney's vault.
As you can see, she does that full on. It looks a little bit different than the rest of her teammates. She just does a tuck off instead of twisting more.
And here for the Terrapins is Olivia Weir.
Exhibition routine just to try out the pressure. The blindfold beautifully to handstand into a ginger. A little bit close to that bar and a little bit of a form break in the legs. Shoot over handstand. Gearing up for her dismount. Another double layout. Form was a little bit hesitant on that bar routine and a little bit of a pike down on her double layout. But that is what the exhibition spot is all about, just trying it out, seeing how the pressure feels and seeing how you perform.
That'll wrap up the first rotation. Your thoughts so far on what you're seeing?
Definitely a lot of stuck dismounts for the Terrapins, and I'm sure they are happy with the way they started out. 6 hit bar routines, that is not easy to do. With the Spartans, they are looking to find some more of those sticks that they did not have on vault over on bars. Those little details, those handstands, and little hops or no hops on the landing is what they will be looking for on their next rotation.
Brett seemed to question how ready his team was for this meet, as you said, after their Minnesota meet was canceled due to COVID, but I think this is definitely the start that he was looking for. That will finish us off here for the first rotation. Michigan State leads 49.275 to 49.075 for the Terrapins. Second rotation coming up. You're watching Big Ten Gymnastics on Big Ten Plus.
The Jennison Fieldhouse. Last week, the Spartans tied their second highest program score in history with a 196.775. A goal for this season set by Coach Mike Rowe is to hit the team score of 197. The Spartans are on par to hit that this week. Let's see if they can do it. Thanks guys so much. Back to Abby and Reagan in the booth.
Thank you very much, Mara. And Abby, let's just talk a little bit about that meet at Michigan. Obviously, a pretty hard loss still for the Spartans. You never want to lose to your rival, but overall, a great performance, and Coach Rowe definitely has some positives to take away from that they're going to bring in here today.
Yeah, he definitely had a lot of positives. Going into Michigan, they were the #1 seed and reigning national champions. So Coach Rowe really told his team to focus on themselves, even though that they were at their rivals, and it's a big thing to beat your rivals. He told them to not worry about them at all, just to do their job, and it was all about them. They were taking it one skill at a time, one routine at a time, and one event at a time. So they were really focusing on just themselves and having fun, and not focused on the crowd and Michigan around them.
And here we'll take a look at the competition order for the Terrapins. Coming up next on vault, Sierra Kondo, Athlon Drage, Elizabeth DeBarbery, Emma Silberman, Aleka Chickneus, and Audrey Barber again. And now for Michigan State on the vault, their scores. What are you seeing here?
Definitely the 9-8 range. You see that 9.925 from Ashley Hoflick. You can tell that is a stick. You still have that very high score from Gabby Stephen with the 9.875, but she did stick that one time. She got her perfect 9.95 start value, so when she upgrades that and sticks her new double full, she could earn that 10.0.
Now coming up for Maryland on vault, you'll have Josephine Cogler, Emma Silberman, Elizabeth DeBarbery, Olivia Weir, Alexis Rubio, and Audrey Barber yet again as the anchor.
She's a very consistent gymnast, Audrey is, so having her at that anchor spot gives the Terrapins a lot of confidence for their lineup. Just having her in case there's a fall, they know they can count on her to get a hit routine. Lots of pep talks from the team. Here's the bar team. Here is the Michigan State uneven bars order. Bailey Garcia, Sydney Ewing, Gabby Stephen, Leah Mitchell, Jory Jacker, and Skyla Schulte, the freshman, to anchor on bars.
What kind of pressure, if any, do you think Skyla might feel as the anchor on that bar routine?
Well, even though she is a freshman, she definitely doesn't show any nerves throughout the competition. So I'm sure deep down she's a little bit nervous, but she has a lot of confidence in her team to give her some hit bar routines before she goes in the 6th spot.
Here's Josephine Cogler on vault.
Rear chankle full, the most common vault in the NCAA. She does that beautifully. Just one small hop back on the landing.
And here is sophomore Bailey Garcia on bars.
Maloney, her hands just slipped off that high bar. It looked like a little bit of a scary fall. That is actually how she is supposed to fall if her hands flip. Gymnasts are trained to know how to fall safely. She'll have to get back up and finish her routine.
What has to be her mindset here right now to finish this off strong?
Yeah, well, starting off with a fall on bars is definitely not the way you wanted to start for your team, but she has to finish strong, keep the same energy, the same mindset, so that it doesn't distract her team from hitting routines as well. Good hit handstand, blindfold. She'll do a double layout right into that. That is exactly what she needed. She needed to do that for her team. Still a smile to finish it. Puts a lot more pressure on the remaining gymnasts, but they know that they have her back.
And here, Emma Silberman on vault.
There's that full on, tuck off vault that Delaney Harkness also competes. It's very unique, very difficult to do.
Maryland Terrapins need a nickname for their sticks.
Definitely.
Michigan State has Spartan sticks, but we need one. Overall, great finish for Bailey Garcia, even with that fall there in the beginning. Here is the freshman Gabrielle Stephen getting ready for her bar routine. And Abby, you definitely have to think that, you know, she wants to do better for her team, and so she's going to try her hardest to make this a great routine to keep that momentum rolling for the Spartans.
Even though she knows that she has to hit, she's got to do everything like she knows how to do it and not think about that. Maloney up to the high bar. Gabby is so tall and lengthy, it makes bars very difficult to do. Great shoot over to handstand. She is not holding back, even though she knows her teammate had a fall to start off. Just her dismount left, a blind full. Into a double tuck. Stuck. Bailey Garcia runs up to hug her. She knew that she had her back for that hit routine. Great bar routine by Gabby Stephen.
A Spartan stick, and I'm sure we will see many more tonight. And here we have Elizabeth DeBarbery.
Yurchenko full. Maryland is hitting those sticks. They are back-to-back, sticking everywhere. That is how you get those high scores. It's the last thing the judges remember is your landing. So it really makes an impression on what score they end up giving you. So look at Gabby's dismount, a blind full into a double tuck again. Coach Rowe loves it. Get the snowball rolling in the right direction for the Spartans on bars.
Oh, look at that, the crown. She'll wear that proudly.
And she'll probably get it again tonight.
And here we have Leah Mitchell on bars.
The veteran. This is a great spot for her to be in. She knows this pressure. A Maloney up to the high bar. Back to a shoot over down to the low bar. A little bit short on that handstand. Looked like her grip was maybe a little bit messed up. Just the dismount for Leah. Double layout dismount. Stuck landing. Her chest was a little bit down on that landing. The judges might take a little bit off of that stuck landing, but no steps.
Another Spartan stick. And here we have Olivia Weir.
Huge Yurchenko full. Pike down. She really did not need to pike down. She took a little bit of a hop backwards for that extra momentum.
So far, Maryland is seeing a 9.825, a 9.85, and a 9.800 on vault. And Michigan State, Gabrielle Stephen had a 9.8, and then Bailey Garcia with a 9.325, but that will most likely be their drop score.
Coach Rowe told me that he thinks bars is definitely their weakest event. They are ranked 18th overall in the nation, which is their lowest ranking. He's been really messing around with the different types of release moves. If he wants two Maloney's back-to-back, if he wants a double layout back-to-back. He's really trying to get in those judges' minds and see what they're thinking when it comes to his bar squad.
And here is Joy Jackard on the bars.
Jory's gorgeous on this event. Her lines are perfect. She'll start off with a straddle Jaeger. Shoot over to handstand, back down to the low bar. Great routine so far for Jory. Let's see if she can finish it off. Showing off that handstand. Blindfold, double tuck. Just a teeny bit of a hop back, but that was a gorgeous routine from Jory Jacker. The team wants a 10. Let's see what the judges have up their sleeves.
And here's Alexis Rubio on vault.
That was a gorgeous vault. The technique that she had in the air, she really didn't even use her arms to twist. She just dropped a shoulder because she was so high in the air and she had so much time to get that full twist around in a stuck landing.
There's stuck landings flying around all over this place right now.
This must be something in the air.
There's something better than Elmer's glue on these mats right now. And what an awesome atmosphere for these girls to be in right now. So many people out here supporting the green and white. Here we have Skyla Schulte.
Coach Rowe really wants more Spartan fans to come out and see this team. He believes that they are special. They have so much energy and they are just so fun to watch. Skyla's released back up to the high bar into a shoot over. A little bit over on that handstand. Might have hurt her wrist just a little bit, but she has still got to finish up this routine. Super fast giants into a double layout dismount. Fought for that stick as well, but she loved it.
And you've talked a lot about body position too and momentum. Skyla just has so much momentum when she's up there. Here we have Audrey Garber.
So close to that stick, you could tell she wanted it. She was fighting for it, just a little bit under-rotated. A step forward. A step forward is the same amount of tense deduction as a step backward is.
Leah Mitchell pulled in a 9.900 and Jory Jackard with a 9.925 on bars. So what a great comeback for the Spartans after that start.
They just need one more hit routine to drop that low score. Like I said, Coach Rowe is still playing around with lineups, and the fall from Bailey Garcia will definitely have an impact on the lineup to come the rest of this season. He's really focused on consistency. He told me he even has a pretty hard time picking girls to put in the lineup. A lot of them are extremely consistent in practice, so really every event lineup is up for grabs. It's whatever they do in practice, and they can show Coach Rowe.
And here's Delaney Harkness anchoring this event.
Huge Ginger. She is hitting those handstands. This is Delaney's best event. She is gorgeous on this event. Makes it look really easy. Just her dismount, half in, half out. A little bit over-rotated. She has so much power and height in that dismount. That is an extremely difficult dismount to stick because you are twisting and flipping at the same time. So again, that air awareness is key.
But definitely a solid enough of a routine for the Spartans to be able to drop that first one.
Just a half. Again, you don't see that very often. That is a 10-0 start value because you have that blind landing compared to a full when you get to spot your landing a little bit better. A half and a 1.5 twist. Those blind landings are a lot scarier and a lot more difficult because, again, you have to have that air awareness to spot your landing or else you might get hurt.
That was a look at Delaney's dismount. And here we have Cindy Ewing for the exhibition.
shoot over to handstand, back up to the high bar. She will do a Tkachev release move. Great Tkachev. That is difficult to do at the end of the routine, but Sydney seems to do it with ease. Double tuck. She again fought for that landing. Little bit of a step forward, but that was a great exhibition routine, and Coach Rowe will take that into mind when he is picking the lineup for the next meet.
That will wrap up the second rotation. Looking at these scores right now, Abby, what are your thoughts?
Michigan State definitely starting out with the fall. That is not how you want to start. But again, Coach Rowe has a lot of confidence in his team to pick each other up when they fall, and they did an amazing job. A lot of high scores, a lot of high 9.8s, 9.9s. Gorgeous.
And for the Terrapins, they are not that far behind. Third rotation coming up. You are watching Big Ten Gymnastics on Big Ten Plus.
And welcome back to East Lansing yet again. We are in Jennison Fieldhouse, and tonight there's another reason for the Spartans to feel special. Their alumni from the program have come back to support the team yet again as they take on the Terps. I am here with Jessica, who graduated in 2019. Jessica, why do you come back to support your team?
I just come back to, support the girls. They're having a great season, and it's just great to see them do great things. The program did a lot for me when I was here on the team.
Thank you. And what does that success mean to you? Having been through it, can you imagine what these girls feel?
It's just awesome to see all your hard work come to effort. You spend so long working on all these skills and routines, and just to see everything come to is awesome.
Yep. And thank you so much, Jessica. She is just one of many alumni who are in the house tonight. As we're moving on to our third rotation, thank you guys so much. Back to Abby and Reagan.
Thank you very much, Mara. Abby, it's so great to see all these alumni out here tonight being celebrated and recognized for the work they did for the team when they were here.
Definitely carrying that Spartan legacy on.
And Micro, too, has talked about, the legacy that he hopes to continue for, his team. Take a look at the Michigan State scores on the uneven bars. Biggest thing you take away from this?
Well, that fall, obviously, to begin with. There's been multiple times this season that Michigan State has started off with a fall, either on bars or beam, and they have done an amazing job covering that fall up and eventually dropping that score, which is huge for their 197 goal.
And for the Terrapins on vaults, pretty even across the board.
Lots of 9.8s. Those stuck landings, they earned those high scores, with the highest being 9.875 from Alexis Rubio.
The scores right now stand at Michigan State with a 98.600. We'll look at the competition order for Maryland on floor with Alexis Rubio starting things off. Then Rhea LeBlanc, Josephine Kogler, Emma Silberman, Alexa Rothenbuscher, and Sonia Glauber. And for Michigan State on beam, led off by Alyssa Wiedemann, then Tania Smith, Gabrielle Stephen, Leah Mitchell, Skyla Schulte, and anchored by Bailey Garcia.
Bailey has stayed in that anchor spot all season, and she definitely has earned it, being ranked 11th in the nation on the event. which is an extremely big accomplishment considering usually the SEC conference dominates most of the rankings in gymnastics, but having that Big Ten representation up in the top 15 is huge.
But, you know, when you talk about rankings and team rankings specifically, Michigan State has been stationary at that number 15 spot for about 3 weeks now, and you know Mike Rowe's thoughts on that.
Yeah, he had quite a funny quote when I talked to him about his overall 15th ranking. He goes, "We are tired of being ranked 15th, and we think that we are much better than that." So they are definitely looking to climb the rankings this week after this meet. Definitely hitting that 197 would help. They're ranked in the top 18 on every single event, with beam being ranked 16th overall. The national rankings are all about being consistent because it is an average of your scores throughout the season.
And here is Alyssa Wiedemann, excuse me.
The leadoff role on beam is one of the most important roles the entire meet. It can really go one way or the other. So let's see how she does here, starting off with her series. Handspring layout, step out. Fights for that no wobble finish. Full turn requirement. Every gymnast must do a full turn of some sort on the balance beam to fulfill their requirements and get that 10-0 start value. She'll do a front toss here. Beautiful, right into a flutter jump. Her jump series, so far so good for Alyssa. She has her dismount left, a unique one here. A gainer full dismount, stuck. Wow, that was an amazing routine to start off for the Spartans, especially after starting off with the fall on the first event, or the second event of bars.
You just see how excited all of her teammates get for that. I mean, such a strong routine. And now we'll move to floor for the Terrapins with Alexis Rubio.
Double pike to start for her first pass. Got some fun dance. Competing at floor at an away meet is definitely a very hard challenge. The crowd's not as into it. You don't have as much energy. Back 1.5 into a front layout. Switch side into a popa. Popa is a straddle full. All gymnasts must do some sort of leap series on the floor, just like they have to do on the beam. Gearing up for her final pass here. Double tuck. Great landing. Another great start to Maryland's floor rotation. Getting that energy up. Gotta carry it along for the rest of your teammates.
Alexis, what a performer she is. That's definitely a key on floor.
Definitely. Some gymnasts are not as showy, not as dancey, so having a little bit of an attitude, a little bit of a personality on the floor exercise, the judges love that.
Coming out to Nia Smith on the beam.
Nia is coming back from an injury, so seeing her on many events is definitely good to see. Back handspring, back layout, step out. She was a little bit hesitant on her landing, but she stayed on and just a slight wobble. Beam is all about tricking the crowd and tricking the judges into thinking that you're confident. Maybe you are confident, maybe you aren't, but you gotta fake it till you make it on the balance beam. Adding your own dance definitely helps too. Calms you down a little bit in between skills. Here's her dismount. A round off double tuck. Pretty large step on the landing, but that is a very difficult dismount to do. She does not have to do that. It's very hard difficulty.
Moving back to floor now with Rhea LeBlanc.
Rhea actually had an 8-8 last time out. She fell. So this will definitely be a proving routine for her.
I feel like it isn't as common to fall on floor.
Yeah, it's definitely not as common. Floor is all about having the endurance, so you likely see falls on the last pass when gymnasts are tired. There's a front layout full into a front layout. Floor and vault are mainly about the landings. That's where you get deducted most on. So falling is not as common. Beam is definitely the most common. You see falls with bars coming in at second. Again, floor is all about the performance and having your teammates by your side to get you into that dance and show the judges what you're made of is definitely beneficial. Couple of steps back on that landing. It looked like she was a little bit tired and thought she had to go a little bit harder than she needed to. So those steps back were a direct fall from that. Here's Gabby getting ready on beam. Waiting for the judges on beam is definitely the hardest position you can be in. Beam is all about your mentality. It is a very mental event. All these gymnasts know how to do these skills on the floor, but being on a beam is definitely more difficult, and they have to deal with that.
Alyssa Wiedemann had a 9.775, and we talked about it, but that routine looked better than a 9.775. What are your thoughts there?
I definitely agree. I think she probably earned maybe a little bit of a higher 9.8, but you never know what's going through the judge's mind. Maybe they saw something that we didn't. Maybe she missed a connection and we thought it looked good, so they could have taken things off that were not very visible to the average eye.
You see Gabrielle Stevens smiling right now. She's ready to go.
The gymnast gets to pick the song that they want that plays during their beam routine. It's a beautiful song to keep her nerves down and her heart rate down. I love that skill. She does that with ease. A front aerial to 2 feet. I don't know if any other NCAA gymnast competes that skill. She gears up for her series. Beautiful back handspring, back layout, step out. Sometimes the gymnasts even dance to the songs they pick, even though beam does not require any music. Gives them a good sense of rhythm, knowing that they're okay up on that beam. Here's her dismount. That was a gorgeous routine. I didn't see anything wrong with that, but again, never know what is going through the judges' minds.
That might be the loudest we've heard Jennison thus far tonight. Here it is one more time.
For sure, that routine looked pretty flawless. No wobbles to the naked eye. And a stuck landing. Here's a double tuck for Maryland.
This is Josephine Cogler.
Beautiful leap series. Over 180 splits on those. See the little girl getting into her dance, even though she's on the opposing team in the background. Back 1.5 front layout, finishes it with a smile. Here's another pass, a double pike. A little bit of a short landing. She had to take that step forward. That will be a deduction.
Quite a few loud cheers in here right now. Gabrielle Steven received a 9.950 on that beam routine.
I would love to see where the judges took that .05, but a very good score for Gabby. Very deserving. Here's a look at that double pike again. A little bit short on that landing. She had to take that step forward, which will be a deduction.
And here we have the veteran Leah Mitchell on beam.
She is a pro at looking confident up there. She has a triple series here, back handspring layout, step out. That is extra difficult, having those 3 skills staying in a row and staying centered on that beam, full turn. I've not known many people to smile up there on the beam, but Leah gave the judges a little bit of a smile there, right before that front aerial. Deep breaths. Her jump series is split jump, straddle quarter. Round off 1.5 dismount. A solid landing and another beautiful routine for the Spartans.
She smiles so much up there. Kind of makes you want to go out and do it yourself, but I don't think that would be a good idea on my end. Maybe on yours, but not me.
It's definitely not as easy as she makes it look either. Here's a high energy routine here from Emma Silverman. She'll start with a Rudy. She definitely was supposed to do a back handspring out of that. Looked a little bit difficult. She did not get enough height on that front 1.5, her Rudy, into the back handspring, so it was a little bit of a head spring instead of on her hands.
The Terrapins are clocking in some lower scores on floor than I think they anticipated.
This is where they need to make up some scoring because Michigan State excels on the floor exercise. That is their best event.
So far, all in the 9-7 range.
Still high scores, but this score is definitely going to be on the lower end because of that first pass mistake. There's a front double full. That is very difficult to do as your second pass. That is an E tumbling pass, the hardest it gets. Judges seem to be discussing Leah's score a little bit. As Go Green, Go White chants erupt in Jenison Fieldhouse.
So far for Michigan State, Nia Smith with a 9.8, Gabrielle Steven on top still with that 9.95, and Alyssa Wiedemann with a 9.775.
Really good scores for the Spartans there.
And now on to the powerhouse of a freshman, Skyla Schulte.
Talk about a powerhouse. She's even powerful on the beam. It's easy to be powerful on the other 3 events, but beam is a very delicate event. She uses her power to her strength.
Mike Rowe always talks about that energy, and she brings the energy here.
He even says that she makes some of the upperclassmen more energized just because she is a ball of energy. She can't even contain it herself. She's got to pass it along to her teammates. A quote from Mike Rowe is, Skyla and the other freshmen in her class are drinking the Kool-Aid. They are just having fun. Little bit of a bobble there on her leap series, but she stayed on. Series there, back into neck layout, step out. As she is nearing the end of her routine. An aerial into a full dismount. I think she'll be satisfied with that routine. Definitely not her best routine, considering that almost major wobble on the leap series. The judges will take a couple tenths for that.
One more look at it.
Here's the dismount, which she did nicely.
The judges decided, and Leah Mitchell with a 9.800 on that routine.
Very deserving. So far, so good for the Spartans on beam. No major mistakes. It takes the pressure off of the remaining gymnasts a little bit. See, she's even having fun. They're on balance beam. It's definitely not the funnest event, but Leah's all smiles.
Leah, too, she suffered a concussion in the offseason, so she was out of that first meet, and she's slowly crawling her way back here. But, I mean, she used to be one of the most dominant all-arounders for the Spartans in the past few seasons.
And hopefully you hope to see her back in the all-around to come. But again, Mike Rowe said that every spot on every event is open. So someone you may have never seen compete for the Spartans could jump into any one of those spots in any event. It all depends on what they show him in practice.
And she did choose to come back for another season. You know, COVID has just been so hard on these girls, and she wasn't ready to miss out anymore.
After that dreadful season last year, Coach Rowe said some of the juniors and seniors were the only ones that really realized how tough of a season that was last year. Just getting it canceled. They were a really strong team starting the season, and then just having nothing and having it all taken away from them really showed them what they had to persevere through, and coming out this season, after that season, they are not taking anything for granted.
And when you flip to the other side, we've talked about it earlier, but the Terrapins, they already had a meet canceled this season. I mean, obviously you hope that these gymnasts can stay healthy, but it's just hard to prepare so much for a certain team and then just to have it taken away, and you kind of have to calm back down and then get in the mindset to take on Michigan State.
COVID has really hurt the sport of gymnastics, because gymnastics is unique in that you can't really take 5 days off and then have a game or have a meet like some other sports. A whip double back. She stepped out of bounds. That will be a deduction.
We're looking here at Alexa Rothenbuscher.
Especially coming back, if you have COVID or if you are quarantined and coming back and doing a floor routine, that is extremely difficult. It's all about endurance, and you have to train these floor routines every day to keep your endurance up so that you don't get hurt.
And luckily, to their advantage, they have had more time in the gym to perfect these routines. But again, obviously, you want to be out there competing and not just in the gym. But slowly but surely, things are working out here for the Terrapins.
Huge double pike, a very controlled landing. That was beautiful. Great ending for Alexa.
Skyla Schulte received a 9.750 for her routine.
If you haven't been paying attention thus far, you'll want to open your eyes for this routine. She is gorgeous on the balance beam.
11th in the nation.
Her series. I don't think I've ever seen her wobble in that. Not in practice, not in the warm-ups, not in the meet. A front aerial into a split jump, over 180 split jump, might I add. She really takes her time on the balance beam, which shows her confidence. Preparing for her aerial full dismount. Oh, just that little movement of the foot. Otherwise, a very, very flawless routine for Bailey.
And that has to feel really good after that slip up on the bars. But she brought it back there, no doubt.
Beam is definitely her event. She is just so confident.
One more look.
Dismount. She really did not need to move that foot. Otherwise, a very, very perfect routine and a great dismount.
That left foot just moved like an inch.
So close.
And here, the anchor, once again, Audrey Barber.
A huge full in. She took a step forward, a little bit under-rotated. Here's her second pass here. A back 1.5 into a front pike. Very controlled landing. As a veteran, she definitely knows that this dance and the sass, the personality, contributes to her score, so she's adding that here for the judges. Ends it with a double tuck. Another little bit of an under-rotated landing. She had to take a step forward instead of a step back, which is what the judges want to see. Solid routine by the anchor.
Bailey Garcia clocked in a 9.900.
That 1/10, man, that was probably that little movement of the foot on the dismount. Here's an exhibition routine from Delaney. Back handspring back layout, step out series. No wobbles. Cat leap into a side aerial. Her foot definitely slipped on that. She looked pretty square. Sometimes the beam gets a little bit slippery from sweaty feet and too much chalk. That's what this exhibition spot is for, though. Here's her dismount to finish, an aerial, tuck full, stuck dismount. Still a very solid routine, except for that fall, that little miss up.
She was the exhibition on the vault as well, so maybe at some point in the season or even next season, she still is a sophomore, we'll see her in that all-around position.
She's definitely capable of it. Mike Rowe said they have 6 all-arounders on their team that could potentially do all 4 events. Double pike to start for Sonia Glauber. Back 1.5 front layout. A little bit to the side, not as centered as the judges would like to see. She's really bringing it all out there on the floor, dancing with her heart out. A little bit of a low leap series, leap connection there. Might have been a little bit short on the 180 requirement on those leaps. She gears up for her final pass. A double tuck. Pretty under-rotated in a slightly out of control landing. She had to take a step forward. Both of her feet came off the mat. So that'll be a pretty sizable deduction for the judges.
That will bring us to the end of the third rotation. Abby, your thoughts so far?
That was a very solid beam rotation by the Spartans. Beam is definitely the toughest event, and Maryland will have to do it next after their pretty solid floor rotation, so we'll see what they have to bring us here on the 4th rotation.
Michigan State on top here against Maryland. The 4th rotation coming your way. Stay with us.
Welcome back to Denison Fieldhouse in East Lansing. My name is Mara McKenzie. We here are looking at some Spartans who have been ranked number 15 in the nation for a considerable amount of time. Coming into this season, the girls felt like they had something to prove, but after hanging with teams like number 1, University of Michigan, these girls feel like they deserve to be higher. And after scores like tonight, we're seeing that it may happen. That 197 is far within reach as our Spartans take on the floor. We'll see if these girls get ranked any higher next week, as 15 is an incredible accomplishment, but these girls expect to be higher, and they have a drive, and they want it for themselves. Thank you guys so much. We are starting our fourth rotation here. Back to the booth with Abby and Reagan. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Mara. Abby, we've already touched on it a little bit, but to get past that number 15 ranking and move up, this is what they have to do. They have to win in their conference, and that's not an easy task.
No, the Big Ten, as I said earlier, SEC usually dominates the sport of gymnastics, but the Big Ten is coming back. They have Michigan, they have Iowa, Ohio State. Everyone in the Big Ten has a very solid gymnastics team. While the rankings and the overall conference standings don't mean too much thus far in the season since it's quite early, it is very interesting to see.
But no surprise there to see the Wolverines on top.
They're a very, very solid team.
Defending national champions. And here we have the Maryland scores on floor. Emma Silberman's was the one that they are not using. Anything to note there?
Just some lower scores, the 9-7 area. You could see they were a little bit hesitant on some of their landings, took a couple steps back, their chests maybe have been down, and that's definitely where those 9-7s are coming from.
And on to Michigan State's performance on the beam. Bailey Garcia with that 9-9, no surprise there. Anything else that stands out to you?
Well, Gabby Stevens, 9.95, that is a very high score for her. She definitely deserved that. Very minimal deductions on that routine.
And moving on to the floor exercise. By far, Michigan State's strongest event. Start off with Sydney Ewing, then Talia Mitchell, Delaney Harkness, Gabrielle Stephen, Skyla Schulte, and the anchor and Ashley Hoflick.
It's a very, very strong floor lineup. Got some veterans, got some freshmen.
And for Maryland to finish it off on the beam, starting out with Olivia Weir to Emma Silberman, Reese McClure, Josephine Cogler, Elizabeth DeBarbery, and Audrey Barber once again.
She is just so solid in that anchor spot. She will not be going anywhere the rest of the season, I assume. She will stay in that anchor spot for the Terrapins.
So far, the scores here in East Lansing with Michigan State on top, 147.825, and Maryland trailing 147.050. Abby, you just talked to me about what Michigan State has to do to possibly reach that 197 mark, and it could happen here tonight.
It is very attainable. Floor is one of Michigan State's best events. In fact, they are ranked 13th in the nation on floor. As long as they do what they've been doing and what they know how to do, that 197 goal is definitely in reach tonight.
That'd be great to see. We know head coach Mike Rowe would love to see that. And you see Coach Rowe there talking to associate head coach Nicole Jones. She's a Spartan alum and overall just a great addition to the Spartan team, giving back her expertise that she learned while she was here. Here we are starting off on the beam for Maryland with Olivia Weir.
Olivia had a 9.6 at the meet against Rutgers. Starts off with her series, a back handspring, back layout, step out. No wobbles, no issues there. A switch leap right into a switch side. That takes a lot of leg strength. She was a little bit short on those 180 splits, but nonetheless a very difficult skill to do on the beam. A switch leap into a standing back layout step out. Again, a very difficult skill. Takes a lot of momentum and a lot of leg strength to get yourself around. A back handspring into a back 1.5 twist. That was a gorgeous routine to start Maryland off on the balance beam tonight.
And you know, that's really all they can ask for. It started strong on bars, finished strong on beam. We'll move over to floor now with Sydney Ewing.
This is one of my favorite routines. She really draws you in with this dance. Front double full. Sydney has stayed in the leadoff spot on floor for a majority of the meets. It's great having a senior out there to start you off on floor. A little bit hesitant on those leaps on the landing there, but 180 nonetheless. Just such unique dance. A back 1.5 twist into a front full. She only did 2 passes there, fulfilled her requirements in 2 passes, but that was another great routine from Sydney Ewing, and to start the Spartans out on floor.
And we've talked all meet long about how important it is to have such a strong start, and even more so for the Spartans to have that strong of a start on by far their best event.
They simply just have fun on the floor. They're so good at it, they don't really get too scared, just worry about having fun and getting the crowd engaged.
Moving over to Maryland on beam with Emma Silberman.
A triple series here, back handspring, layout, step out. Like I said earlier, that is a very difficult series to do, having 3 elements like that, back to back to back. Keeping yourself square on that balance beam is not an easy thing to do. A little bit of a bobble. She might lose connection on that leap series. We'll see what the judges think. Her dismount, a round off 1.5 twist. She tried to convince the judges that she stuck that landing. I'm not sure if they'll give it to her, but a good effort and a good routine.
Now over to Leah Mitchell on floor.
Leah had a very controlled floor routine at Michigan. Great landing out of her double tuck. Alina Cartwright does a great job with the choreography. Leah's floor routine is actually Rio inspired. See some young fans behind Leah cheering her on into her second pass. Back 1.5 twist into a front layout. Leah is a great performer.
We're talking Rio the Bird movie, right?
Or like the country.
The music just sounds so similar.
Very similar. Here's her last pass here. A double pike. She loved that one. That was a great routine. I think the best routine we've seen from her all season.
Absolutely agree. That's the most solid she's looked after coming back from that concussion. Sydney Ewing with a 9.850 on her routine. Now to Maryland on beam with Reese McClure. So far they have a 9.800 and a 9.85 on the score sheet for beam.
You saw there a front aerial into a back handspring. It was a pretty slow connection, and that is a very big deduction if the judges do not give her that connection for her series. So hopefully she played it off well enough. Another front aerial here into a split jump. Our acro connection. Gearing up for her dismount here. That was a really unique dismount. A front dismount, a 1.5 front twisting dismount. She stuck that one. We'll see if the judges give her that series connection. That will be huge for her score.
Moving over to sophomore Delaney Harkness on floor.
Last time out, Delaney had the best routine of her season with a 9.9. Here's a half in, half out. A little bit under-rotated on that. The judges will take off for that landing. Got a lot of sass in this routine. Beautiful leaps there. Her last pass here, a front through into a double tuck. Much better landing on that second pass than the first one. Overall, I think she'll be satisfied with that routine.
Here we have Josephine Cogler on the beam for Maryland.
As she starts out with her leap series, a switch leap into a straddle quarter. Every gymnast picks to do their routine in a different order. Some gymnasts like to do the series, which she is doing right now, first. They like to get it over with. That seems to be the toughest skill in everyone's routine. There she had a back handspring layout step out series. And a front walkover. That was to complete her front skill requirement. Every gymnast needs a front and a backwards moving skill on the balance beam. Along with that full turn, they need that as well. Her dismount, a gainer full, and a stuck dismount. That was a great routine, very difficult. She handled that pressure well.
So many stuck landings for the Terrapins on bars, and now you're seeing the same thing on beam. Now to Gabrielle Steven on floor.
She is so powerful on floor. She'll start off with a front double full into a front tuck. Oh no, she was way over rotated on that one. Still have to finish the routine strong. The dance will take your mind off of that fall just a little bit before you gear up for your second pass. Here's her last pass here, a double pike. Much better than the first one. A good ending to a not so good start with Gabby Stevens' floor routine. Here's a look at that beautiful second pass. I'm sure she would have loved her first pass to end like that as well. She's just so powerful. It's kind of hard to contain.
Now on to Elizabeth DeBarbery for Maryland on beam. Leah Mitchell scored a 9.875, and Delaney Harkness had a 9.850 for Michigan State on floor.
Switch leap, tuck 3/4. That's a difficult leap because you have to land sideways on the beam rather than landing forward or backward like most skills land. A cat leap into a front aerial. Round off 1.5 dismount. A step back on that landing, but Maryland is putting up some very solid beam routines here. Very minimal mistakes, very little wobbles, and some stuck dismounts.
Yeah, you know, no matter the outcome of this meet, they definitely have positives to take away from their performance here tonight, especially against such a competitive team in Michigan State.
For sure, and they actually did struggle a bit on beam at the last meet against Rutgers. Had a couple 9.5s, 9.6s. So putting up these larger scores is really big for the Terrapins.
And you just saw that scorecard moving. Gabrielle Steven with a 9.225. So Skyla Schulte has to bring it home right here.
Coach Rowe believes she will do just that. He says that she just lays it all out there on the floor. Huge double pike, double with a full twist, but that landing, that might cost Michigan State their 197 goal right there. See how she can finish up this routine. Again, these freshmen have so much power. Skyla and Gabby, they could upgrade these passes, but honestly, they don't get much harder than what they do already, so they just have to work on controlling that power and making those landings more consistent. Here's Skyla's second pass. Short on that landing as well. She had too much power on the first pass and too little power on the second. That's what it's all about, though. You got to get out these mistakes before the postseason, especially with these freshmen. They need to get experience under their belt in dealing with these mistakes and dealing with the adrenaline on the floor.
I mean, really, you would hope that you're not seeing these mistakes when it comes to Big Ten conference matchups. But, and we saw the same thing with Iowa, too. It was just those little mistakes that ended up costing them in the end.
Definitely. It's all about details. Gymnastics is about the little things.
Now with Audrey Barber, the anchor yet again for the Terrapins.
A front toss into a flutter jump. Gearing up for her dismount. And finishing up the meet for the Terrapins. Round off double full. Again, fights for that landing. Hopefully the judges will give her that stick.
Such a solid finish for Maryland. They should definitely be proud of the performance they've had here tonight. The Spartans will send it off with senior Ashley Hofelick.
Ashley has a very, very engaging and unique routine. She's been very, very consistent and controlled on all of her landings thus far on the floor exercise. Here's her first pass here. A double pike. Again, there's that controlled landing. Ashley has the potential for a 10-0 on this floor routine. She's gotten close many times. At Michigan, she had a 9.925. It was a nearly perfect routine. Running for her second pass right here. A round off 1.5 into a front layout, and she dances out of it. Just one more pass to go for this senior. She'll end with a double tuck. Great routine for Ashley Hofelick once again.
She is just so consistent. And that's what you need in an anchor.
Here's a look at that last pass once again. She is so high, she is able to spot that landing and control it for no deductions.
Here as an exhibition for Maryland is Alexis Rubio.
A front tuck into a back handspring. That is a very difficult series to do. Doing a front tuck as your first skill in a series is difficult because it is a very inconsistent skill. You must really train that really hard to perfect it and get it to the consistency that you would like it at. Here's her dismount, a cartwheel into a tuck, 1.5, back 1.5, dismount, and a great landing. Maryland had a great beam rotation there.
Great stuff from the Terrapins on beam. Overall score of 49 on the dot for the Terrapins. Here are the beam scores for Maryland. Olivia Weir starting it off solid with that 9.85 to lead the Terrapins. Anything to note there?
Very, very solid scores. Having to drop a 9.725 is really, really good. That is usually a score that you would count. But for the Terrapins, they had enough good scores to drop that one.
Now on to the exhibition for Michigan State is Nia Smith.
It's great to see her back on the floor exercise after an injury. She's got a lot of energy. I hope to see her in the floor lineup later in the season. Beautiful back 1.5 into a front layout. Unique dance move right there. Finishing up here with her last pass. A double pike. She had a little bit of a hop on the landing there, but she had too much power again. This team's got a lot of power. They just need to learn how to take it.
You'll look at the celebration there from the Spartans. They will come on top in this meet against the Terrapins. Just looking at the floor scores here, things you really were not expecting from the Spartans there.
No, they are usually so consistent on the floor exercise, and those two pretty big mishaps with Gabby Stevens-Fall and Skyla's very awkward landing on her first pass, that cost them their 197 goal. But overall, I'd say a very, very solid performance by the Spartans tonight. I think they will be definitely happy.
They will add their first conference win into the record books this season. Stick around with us for the award ceremony coming up next. Michigan State takes this one home.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. We are back in East Lansing in Jennison Fieldhouse. I am here with head coach Mike Rowe after topping the tied last week's score of the second time in school history. Now they have a new second best score. Coach, how are you feeling about your gym miss today?
We're feeling great. And we were just talking to the girls and saying, you know, we're capable of going 197. That's not the goal. Our goal is going baby steps every week, and that's what we seem to keep doing. We'll take a little bit forward, a little bit back, but they're entirely capable of going there. We're ecstatic about it. They're still not happy. So they know they can do more, and we're just like, be ecstatic, be excited. This is like the second highest score in school history. So how can you not be happy about that? We're thrilled.
Thank you, Coach. I am so happy to hear. How has it felt to have this historic second score in school history here with your alumni here to be celebrated with you?
That's the sweet part about it, because they got to see it, and we've been getting lots of love and attention and everything from them all week, and watching this team progress throughout the season as we have. You know, we couldn't ask for anything more, and it was really special to have them here to actually see it.
Thank you so much, Coach. Congratulations to you and your girls. I'm so happy to see you guys do so great today. We are all set to go to awards, and I am all set. Thank you, guys.
Thank you
Back
so
to
much.
Abby and Reagan in the booth. Thank you, Coach. Thank you.
I mean, what do we talk about? It was the same thing. It's like.
With a 9.875 from Michigan State, Gabby Stevens.
Welcome back here inside Jennison Fieldhouse. We'll now send it over to the public address announcer for the award ceremony.
Congratulations, ladies. Please salute. Our bar champions this evening, a two-way tie for third place with a 9.875 from Maryland, Audrey Barber. Also with a 9.875 from Michigan State, Delaney Hartness. In second place on the bars with a score of 9.9 from Michigan State University, Leah Mitchell. Our bar champion this evening with a score of 9.925 from Michigan State University, Jory Jackers. Congratulations, ladies. Please salute. Our being champions this evening in third place with a score of 9.850 from Maryland, Olivia Weir. In second place with a score of 9.9 from Michigan State University, Bailey Kaylee Garcia. Our team champion this evening with a score of 9.950 from Michigan State University, Gabby Stephens. Congratulations, ladies. Please salute. On the floor, our champions, a two-way tie for third place with a 9.850 from Michigan State University, Delaney Harkness. Also with a 9.850 from Michigan State University, Sydney Ewing. In second place with a 9.875 from Michigan State University, Leah Mitchell. Our fourth champion this evening with a score of 9.925 from Michigan State University, Ashley Hoffelin. Congratulations, ladies. Please salute. In the all-round competition in third place with a score of 38.850 from Michigan State University, Gabby Stephens. In second place with a 38.950 from Michigan State University, Skyla Schulte. Our all-around champion this evening with a score of 39.3 from Maryland, Audrey Barber. Congratulations, ladies. Please salute. In second place with a score of 196.050, the University of Maryland. And our winner tonight with a 196.875, Michigan State University. Congratulations to all of today's participants. The Spartan Gymnastics team will now be available for a meet and greet towards the entrance of Jennison Fieldhouse.
Welcome back here inside Jennison Fieldhouse. Michigan State on top for this meet. There's a lot to unpack here, Abby, but what sticks out to you the most?
Definitely the floor mistakes for Michigan State. That is very, very uncharacteristic of both of the girls, Skyla and Gabby. They don't usually fall on that event or any event to begin with. So they'll definitely have to work on that in practice and come back even stronger.
They're inching closer and closer to that 197 mark, but they just aren't there quite yet. 196.875 is now the second highest score in program history for Michigan State. Michigan State takes this one home here in East Lansing. First conference win of the season. I'm Reagan Holgate here alongside Abby Larson and Mara McKenzie. From everyone here at BTN Plus, thanks for watching. Have a great night.